I'm Jim Collison, and live from Omaha, Nebraska, in the Gallup offices in Sydney, as well as in New Zealand. This is Gallup's Call to Coach, recorded on February 9th, 2016. Call to Coach is a resource for those who want to help others discover and use their strengths. We have independent experts and Gallup-Strengths coaches that share tactics, insights, and strategies to help coaches maximize the talent of individuals, teams, and organizations around the world. If you have questions during the live webcast, we do have a chat room that's available for you. It's right below the main video window down here. If you just look down there, log in. Login's in the bottom left-hand corner. Choose the guest account. Put your name in there so we know who you are, and then we'd love to have you come in and bring questions in live. We will take them during the program. If you are watching the recorded version or have questions about custom strengths coaching solutions for small, medium, and large organizations, we do that as well. And you can contact us to send us an email, coaching@gallup.com, or the contact form right there on the live page. We'll get it done. Don't forget to visit the Gallup Strengths Center, just GallupStrengthsCenter.com for all your coaching resources and training and StrengthsFinder training needs. You can also catch the video and now both streaming and downloadable audio for offline listening. Tons of people are taking advantage of this now. We are up to nearly 10,000 audio downloads every single month. That means folks are downloading that, listening to that on their phone, in a car, in a train, on a plane. And we'd love to have you do that too. All the links are on our coaching blog to get that done. And all the help you need to get it done, just ask your local IT guy, hey, how do I listen to this podcast? They'll know how to do it. All the links are available, coaching.gallup.com. Ann Lingefelter is our host today. Ann works as a learning solutions consultant with Gallup out of our Sydney office, although sometimes I find her in Singapore now. Ann, welcome. And I think the last time I saw you, you were in Singapore. Welcome to Call to Coach.
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Jim. It's always great to be here. I have to say there's a few days in the year where I'm particularly sad that I'm not back in the States, and one of them just happened with Super Bowl Sunday. How was the game?
Oh, it was great. It was fabulous. That is one of those days in the United States. It's just worth celebrating, and then it goes away. As quick as it's here, it goes away, and everybody has to work out from all the extra calories. But it is that's one of those things uniquely United States that you just have to experience when you're here.
It's true, and the game is sometimes as good as the ads. The ads tend to be the highlight
Sometimes. It depends from year to year.
But anyway, it's great to be here in sunny Sydney. My coach who's joining us today is a Gallup-Certified Strengths Coach, and her name is Taisja Laudy. And Taisja is one of my favorite coaches. She came here and got her certification in Sydney, and I was there with her and got to know her very well. And I think that you're going to get a lot out of what she has to say. Taisja is the founder and president of Taisja Laudy & Co. It's a company that is solely focused on bringing out the genius in each organization and individual. She founded her company back in 2012 in Europe, and since then it's grown rapidly in Poland, Germany, Australia, and New Zealand. So Taisja, welcome to Call to Coach.
Hi, Anne. Hi, Jim. It's amazing to be with you today. Thank you so much. I'm very pleased to be able to participate in this Call to Coach. Thank you.
Let's start with your top 5.
Yes, okay. So my top 5, I love this thing. I always have it with me. It's learner, command, responsibility, connectedness, and strategic. So I'm very strong strategically. My number 1 and my number 5 are from the strategy domain, and I claim that 100%.
I like the fact that in your top 5 you have representation in all of the domains. So you have you have strategic thinking, influencing, executing, and relationship building all in the top 5. So even though we say there's no such thing as a well-rounded individual, that sounds like a pretty good start.
Yes, I wouldn't call that being a well-rounded, because they all are still, the parts of the star or fingers of your hand, as I just discovered for myself, that I'm actually holding and having my top 5 on a day-to-day basis, and it's just my hand. All my top 5 are here, and being able to use them on a day-to-day basis. But yes, I'm very happy to have all 4 domains represented in myself, because I believe that helps me to connect very quickly with people, and it helps me. Maybe it's a reason for creating the company I've created and people which I brought on board and what we are doing. I don't know, but I believe it's using of those strengths all together.
I think that you are a very creative coach. A lot of times when I talk with you, you come up with ideas that either people just don't have missed, or I don't know, just sort of very interesting perspective. I mean, even just the hand, right? Right there, of course. There it is. It's something that we often talk about stars, right? At the points of the stars for our top 5. But yeah, there you go. So it'll be interesting to talk a bit about some examples of that creativity that you've exhibited in your work. Let's talk a little bit about some context and history first, and how you came across strengths. How were you introduced to the Clifton Strengths Finder?
Yes, thank you for asking this question. This history is very important, and I love the question. So it started in, well, I was a senior sales director, and I believe I was a very successful sales director. I had a huge team, and I helped 5 other sales directors to grow from a scratch to grow into becoming a sales director. I trained people in Poland and in other countries. And at some points, there were 2 important things which happened. One was that I always, because of my learner, I always looked for tools to make my team more successful, to make everyone who works with me not just more engaged, but generally happy and fulfilled in their lives. Later on, I figured out that it has something to do with my mission statement, but that time I didn't know that. So because of that, I constantly was looking for tools and how can I help them? How can I make them more successful? Secondly, I had this thing in my head, and I would just name it as it is. I think it was a calling. There was this voice in my head, just stop doing what you're doing. There is something else for you to do. And I loved my job. I loved it. And I thought that I'll stay there till the end of my life. So what I was hearing, I didn't like it. I was like, no, why should I do this? I love what I'm doing. Leave me alone. But the thing was that the voice was louder and louder. And I just had this feeling that I have to stop doing what I'm doing, but I was not sure what to do after that. So one day, my friend and the pastor in our church, knowing how much I love to learn and grow, told me, look, Thais, I think you would love this. There is this tool which identifies someone's talents, this inborn, God-created talents. He didn't tell me about strengths. He said it's talents. And I was, wow, really? That was all what he told me. He didn't give me the name, the brand, the company, the name of the assessment, nothing. I came back home and I just Googled talents the best. He said that it's used for executives, that it's quite expensive, but it's very precise. This is the information I've got. So in few hours of research, I found Gallup. I found everything Gallup does. I found Strengths Finder. I took an assessment. I ordered all the books from Gallup, everything, like Vital Friends, Well-being, How Full is Your Bucket, Strength Selling, everything what was there. You know, learner number 1, I had to learn, okay? And before diving into this, I thought I had to check the assessment on myself and on everyone I knew, like my parents, my brother, my friends, people I knew well, so I could justify the precision of the assessment. And what I saw was incredible. I knew that I'm holding a treasure, and I understood that I want to share this treasure with like the whole world, the whole globe. And I knew that I can't do what I'm doing any longer. So I went to see a general manager of the company I worked for, and I quit it. One day I said, thank you, I enjoyed it, I loved it, I love the company, you know that. But since today, I think I'm starting something new. And I quit it, and in one day, from being a senior sales director, I become no one on that day. And, you know, no income, no nothing, but huge peace of mind, huge hope, and a treasure in my hands. This is how it started.
And did you go get certified straight away? Did you start your own independent consulting and start using the instrument with other people? How did you start learning with it and applying it?
Okay, so as I told you at the very beginning, because of my responsibility number 3, I really needed to know that the tool is really precise. I knew all the, you know, everything what was there, all the research done. I knew how the brain is developing. I knew when the talents are born, how they are created. But first, how I started, I just did it with everyone and I didn't charge. It was just as a gift. I wanted them to do an assessment and then I worked with them. And then there were some certifications available, but it was not accelerated coaching. So I did an educator certification. I did everything what was there those days to get professional, because for me, I wanted to be a part of Gallup, not just being, somebody who does something because I read a book. I knew that it wouldn't be enough. So those days I couldn't do the accelerated strengths coaching. It was not there yet. I believe it came up to life because of my, thinking there and sending all those signs. And I remember exactly the day when I went on the Gallup website and I saw that, wow, now I can be even more certified. But those days I already had some cooperation with Gallup in Europe. I had certification, and as I told, I had all materials at home. And I built connections with Gallup employees, so I just communicated with them. This is how it started, just step by step, and then individuals, different people, people who knew me. Yes.
You mentioned before, Tace, you mentioned your mission. Tell me what your mission statement is.
Thank you for asking that. That's my favorite question as well. So I believe, first I'll give you some background to that. I believe that everyone has a mission statement. I believe that we all are created with tools and with why. Why am I here? Not just to go to work, to eat, and then go to work, buy some stuff, and again, everything. And that was the calling inside. Find your mission and you'll know what you're supposed to do. And my mission today is bring millions to fulfillment. I believe that I honestly know how to bring people to their genius, to their fulfillment, to activate their full potential, which is there. I call this is actually about genius formula. This is my mission alive. It's like, I believe that we all have these amazing tools. Let's say you have a Ferrari, maybe Jim has a plane, and I have this amazing ship, but we don't drive those. We are crawling instead. This is one point. Another point, that not just we have tools, but we have an amazing motorways created in our brain. This is those neuron connections developed when we were growing up, when the talents we are creating. But we don't use those motorways. What happens from time to time, we drive on there, and those days we go, wow, that was amazing, that was a lucky day, I felt great. But what I believe, we are meant to feel great every second of life. Maybe from time to time we can, drive off, but 80 to 20, 80% of the time to be on the motorway. And the other thing, that we all have a GPS. We all have this system built in, this guiding spirit, this GPS system, values, which help us to get there, to get to the destination quicker. So yeah, this all is connected with my mission statement. This all is how I work with people to help them come to fulfillment, find their fulfillment, and it's a customized solution. And why I love the Strengths Finder, I say that other tools, and I believe I know majority of them, I don't want to call them by names, but why do I love Strengths Finder? Because this is the only tool which takes you out of the box. It doesn't divide the whole humanity in four boxes and says, okay, you belong in here or here. No, this tool actually takes you out of the box and says, no, you are unique. You are 1 in 33 million. Actually, you are uncomparable. You are the only one. And that brings responsibility with that. If I am the only one, if I have this Ferrari, which are strengths, where is the motorway? It has to be there. Let's find it. So yes, the mission statement is bringing people to fulfillment.
So, your passion is evident, and it's contagious, and that's a fantastic thing, I think, in a coach, and for people to be able to understand that there is a lot more that's possible out there. How do you translate that for clients who may want to believe it's true, but perhaps don't know how to get there? How do you translate that enthusiasm and positivity into actual achievable activities or achievable results?
Mm-hmm. So I've spoken about Ferrari, about the tool. These are strengths. If you think of genius, if you go and read what is the genius, the definition, genius consists of three parts. It's our genes, which I call this. These are our talents. This is where Strengths Finder helps, because we identify the talents. The second part of the genius is the destination. Where am I going? So these are our goals, strategies to bring it more to the earth. We work on strategy creation. And then there's the last part, and very important, this is the acceleration part. It's the guiding spirit. It's aligned with values, but values can be translated into routines. What do I do on the day-to-day basis? What I don't do, what do I never do? Why? Because you can go to your destination like this, ages, and never get there. Or you can go just straight away, because these are your barriers, these are your values, this is where your GPS never takes you out of this space. So even if you wander around a little bit, you'll still stay there. So of course, when I work with executives, I don't tell them straight away, oh, let's identify your guiding spirit, because then they will run away. What we do, we work on values, and everyone knows today that values are crucial for being engaged and really switched on, so they're willing. But the funny thing is that when people ask me what I do, there are normally two types of reaction. When I tell them that I bring people to fulfillment, either they laugh and go, ha ha ha, really? Are there a lot of clients in this area? Or straight away they go, really? I was looking for you for years. Let's do this. And I just know that these are ready, and those not yet. They'll find me later.
Very good. That's excellent, Taisja. Let's talk a little bit about your business in Poland. Let's start there, and then we can move on to the Australia, New Zealand. But I know you've done a lot of interesting work. Can you talk a bit about the sort of work you're doing there and how you do it remotely for those coaches that are out there that may have businesses that are operating in a different geographic location from where they normally are? How do you manage those challenges?
First of all, I believe that there are no boundaries. If you understand your why, if you understand what you're delivering here, if you understand the power of strengths and what we're doing here together with Gallup, there are no boundaries. So believing like that, I have this amazing 11 people now in Poland which cooperate with me. And because I don't do everything by myself here from New Zealand. Of course, I work with some executives, because executives and teams, these are my fields of highest expertise where you can bring the biggest change. We have people who work with children and youth. We have people who work with family synergies. We have people who work with private, just individuals who come in and ask for help or finding their strengths and making them more successful in their career. So yes, this is what we do, these three main streams.
Mm-hmm. Can you share a success story from one or two of the streams?
Oh my goodness, we have tons of them. It's incredible. Recently now we are finalizing the project we started a year ago. This is a pro bono project with kids. And I love working with kids because I believe by doing this we create a future for everyone, strength future. So there is a school in Poland, they don't have funding. Teachers are working just for free to keep kids coming to school. And they approached us, found us on somewhere on the Ministry of Education and asked if we could do strengths for the kids, because kids are from poor and pathological families. And I didn't have funding to do that as well, because I had to pay coaches, and you have to pay a little bit everywhere. And I struggled a bit because I really wanted to do this. So I had this strategical idea to gather 10% of our income from some period of time, and invest that into the project. So this month, our coaches, we assessed everyone who directly sent to us. And this month, 3 coaches are going there to work with teachers, to work with kids, to help them to be strong individuals in future, to do everything. And I'm very proud of that, and I'm proud of people I work with. And yes, this is a great success story. Another one from corporate environment. This is my first corporate experience in Poland. I had this IT company, and they started from 8 individuals. They wanted to check the process and the tool, if it's helpful, if it's good. So they started from 8 people, and those people were from sales team. And they went through workshop, through assessment, individual session with myself, very short one, and then they had a workshop, and then I had a follow-up with the manager. After that, they did the whole company. And in about 3 months, the sales record was tripled. And when I asked what was the reasoning behind, they said, yes, we did a lot of changes, but we did them before as well. So we believe that what influenced the changes mostly strengths process we went through, because the strengths language came into organization, and I spoke to executives and I spoke to manager, and she said, tools I get, insights I got into people, how to manage them, how to motivate them, how to communicate with them, are just a treasure. It's incredible. And those people, then because I'm in touch with them, a majority of them are still working there. They never quitted their jobs. Why? Because they said they cared about us, this assessment, and the whole thing was not just for the company to be successful, but we could apply it everywhere, at home, in our families, and of course for the career as well.
So in a situation like that, Taisja, after you've done the work and they've gone on and they've had great results, you say you've kept in touch with them. Do you go back in as a coach and continue to say, okay, right, let's continue to build on this. Let's make sure that we're sustaining this. How do you continue to work with the client after they've had a success like that?
Mm-hmm. Okay, it happens organically, and this is an amazing part. Already now, today, we have a special program because I know that will happen, so we are ready. And there is a 1-year follow-up and cooperation program, like follow-up with managers, and they have a chance to come back and ask about team member and ask questions. But why does it happen? Well, they want to be in touch. And I asked why. I asked a few executives here in New Zealand, and I asked clients from Europe why. When the important decision is there, why do you call me? Why do you call other coaches? And they said, because nobody knows us the way you do. Nobody ever described my strengths the way you did. So when I have to make an important decision, I call to you. So it happens organically. They wanted to be in touch. So now we created the way for them. And this is the Genius Club, which you can see on a banner. There is a possibility for them to be with us.
It seems you can see your responsibility when you and I have had some conversations before, and you've talked about the need for Gallup-certified coaches and other strengths coaches to really own and take responsibility for their knowledge around strengths. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know that's something you're passionate about.
Yes. This is where my learn and command and everything comes together. Because, when somebody approaches me, and it happens with some coaches or with executives as well, normally it happens with those people who had a chance to do different assessments in their life. And they say, what can you tell me with this? It's just another assessment. And if it's a coach or someone who tries to build their career on this and they think in this way, I just want to tell them, look, go and do your homework. Why? Because if we would learn everything what is behind, the research, the way what I mentioned in the very beginning, the way how brain develops, the way how talents are created, and how the assessment strengths finder is combined with that. There is nothing like this. And if coaches would read all the books, which I really place, if you don't have learner or input, find the way. Give yourself a task as an achiever or something, or read it in groups if you are a relator. I don't know. Make fun, but read those books. Because if you do read them, you won't ask those questions. And please go on Gallup.com on a day-to-day basis. For me, it's like I start every day by doing this. Because why would I want to be a partner, let's say, of Gallup, work together with Gallup on a mission, on the goal, 1 billion strengths in the world, without knowing what is happening out there? And Gallup has all these treasures, all these tools, and you guys, you're just throwing them out there for every strengths coach to use, to grow, to inspire, and it's just our responsibility what we do with them. And another thing, once you're connected with Gallup, once you're part of the family, and I love those Friday emails, and it's incredible. It's just fantastic to know everything what happens, to be the first person to know, to be the first people to know this book is published. This is the research we did. Guys, use this in your career, use this in your company, and it's just a matter of me and other people. Are we using this or not? And it's just, I think it's just me to blame if I'm successful or not, because I have it all, and I have you.
I love that, because you're right, Tace. When I go to write my weekly email to the Gallup's certified coach community for Australia, New Zealand, and now Singapore, I always go through, I have to cull through all of the information that Gallup has, because there's so much new information and case studies and impact reports and new tools and things every week that we can put out there. So definitely I would encourage those coaches out there, whether you're certified or not, to go onto Gallup.com and see all of the resources that are there to use, right, in their practices. When we were talking about some of your clients, Tace, that you have in Australia and New Zealand, you were talking about some very innovative and creative ideas that you had to work with some clients, and some of them were really just sort of thinking outside the box. So one of them had to do with hotels. Can you talk a little bit about that and using the training space?
This story is from Poland. This one is from Europe. It's from Poland. Yes. In order to build a company, it's again, this is my strategy coming into place. But on one hand, on another hand, I have this amazing people I cooperate with. So one trainer, Taisja, she had this idea to partner ourselves with hotel in Poland. They are somehow in between the companies with corporates and the training providers. So what they do, they give their facilities for teams to come in, have their integration events, and then they have a special offer for them to train them, to coach them. And they asked, because everyone we present the idea of strengths say it's so refreshing, it's new, we must have it. So they asked if they could put us on the offer, so they could send it to their corporate clients and say, look guys, in our place, in this hotel, you can do strengths-based leadership training or synergy building for your team. And of course we said, wow, let's do this. It's great for everyone, for your client, for us, and for the hotel. So yes, this is one of the solutions we just started in Poland.
Mm-hmm. And some of the partnerships that you've struck with different organizations. So I know some of our certified coaches will partner together and do work together for clients. And but I found it interesting that you were looking outside to other associations as well. Do you want to talk a bit about some of that?
Yes,
that you're doing?
Because my thinking is if you want to be successful, and obviously in my company we want to be #1 fulfillment company in the world. So we won't do that I won't do it by myself, and we won't do it just by ourselves. We need help. We need others who need us. And it's again using your top 5, using your hand, not just to give, to take, but the most of all to take another hand and create something strong. So recently we started cooperation with Dale Carnegie Training. My thinking is find those companies which provide similar things, but they are not your competition, which already have a client base, but they are not your competition. They actually need you to be more strong, to be more significant to their clients. Ask yourself, with whom can I bring more value? With whom, if I partner, we can give more value to the client. So it's win-win-win everywhere. And go talk to them. And I promise, if you do that right, they will want to work, to be with you. And partnering with other coaches, it's a great idea as well, and I believe in that, and I'm doing this in New Zealand. I'm trying to get other certified coaches who are in New Zealand, because together we are strong. 1 + 1 is 11. This is what strengths are all about. Just bring them in, bring more partners, bring more people, and ideas, all the creativity. It's not always comes from, it's not always it's mine. Sometimes somebody says something, I apply my talents to that, and the solution is incredible, and it's not mine, it's ours.
Talk a little bit about your planting strategy and you've talked before about no expectations, throwing as much out there as you can and not really having expectations, but really focusing on your why and focusing on the fact that you are trying to bring others to fulfillment. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. Because people are asking if they want to join, if they can join the company and either work as a trainer or coach or as a strengths advocate, as a salesperson, let's say. We have a value system in the company, and one of the values is that first you have to play to your strengths most of the time. Second, you have to stay in the flow. And what is flow? Flow is this state of being out of frustration, when you react and act, but more answer to the need. And being in the flow, it was not natural for me to be in a flow and have a strategy with targets. The only target we have, I tell everyone, this trainers from Poland called it a planting strategy, my invention, they called it a planting strategy. That their task on a day-to-day basis is to plant a seed of knowledge that there is a possibility, there is a choice. Because I believe we have to give people choice and freedom, nothing else, and knowledge. If we do that, and if we do that by using our strengths, 80% of the time, just doing our best without worrying what will be the outcome, it will be there. Because when we stop, when we can't perform, when we are worried about the outcome, and if the outcome is, and if the target is just be your best self and share what you're passionate about, there is no worry. We can easily do that. And then I tell them, wait 3 to 4 months, because there is a rule. Don't change your actions more often than once in 3 months. Normally what we do, we invent something, we bring a change in a company, we try it for a week, 2, 3, 1 month, 2 months, and when it comes to almost there, manager, somebody, they change it. They bring something new in. And from brain perspective and psychological perspective, we know that people need to hear something at least 16 times, not 8, as I thought before, to actually digest it and understand it. So, and then I tell them, if you started doing something, keep doing that for 3 months. And if after 3 months there is no result, let's talk. And I'm always with them, and I'm always for them. Every morning when I wake up, I have messages, emails from Poland, from everyone here in New Zealand, asking questions. This is what I planted. This is what I did. I spoke to these students in this university. I spoke to this school director. And it's just incredible. So we plant trees of hope and strengths all over the place.
I think it's a great truth that you've said, that it takes so much longer than we all think. And I think we're used to instant gratification, and we think that the results should be so fast. And it's a good point. We have to be perhaps more patient.
And with our clients, the same. Once we did strings, process, or session, anything, I tell them, and I prepare them for that. It takes time. The bamboo, sometimes it takes years, but hopefully it'll be 3 months and you'll see some leaves. But if not, water your bamboo tree and one day it'll be huge. And once they see the result, they gain trust. And once the trust is there, they will follow you. And it doesn't matter if it's your client or if it's somebody you work with, trust has to be there. And our planting strategy, I think it's the best for bringing the trust in.
So with your clients, how do you get them to be patient, and how do you address it up front? I mean, really, you touched on setting expectations up front.
Mm.
How do you do that? What does that look like with your clients?
Okay, so the thing is that the results will be there straight away. They will be there. But I prefer to tell them, from my experience, I always prepare my clients. This is how I work. And I talk to every coach, prepare their clients as well, because we all have our style. With my command, I know with whom I can work, with whom not. So I just tell them, this is the way I can make you tremendously successful. Is it acceptable? And if they say yes, let's do it, because this is the way I'll be able to play to my strengths, like, 200%. And the thing is, why do I tell them to wait? Because the greatest outcome will be after 3 months, but it's the greatest one. And if they are prepared to wait, but after first session they see an outcome, and it's a tiny little something, but they see it. When they think, and after that they think, oh my goodness, she said it will be after 3 months, but actually it was there after 45 minutes of our conversation. What will be there after 3 months? So the rule is just don't overpromise. It's better to say, look, this is the way, I don't know how it works with you. And then just if they see it earlier, it's plus for you as a coach, and it's plus for your company. Mm-hmm.
Taisja, I've seen you in action before when you were here getting our certification course. You have told me that people tell you in your work that you are very good at putting people on the right track, that with your clients, you are very good at putting them on the right track. What is it about you that helps you in that regard? What is it about you that makes you able to do that?
Mm-hmm. I think it's when I named, claimed, and owned my strengths and let myself be the way I am. That's why I'm good with executives and all managers, people who are ready for that. Because at some point, I don't like wasting time. I know that I can give a result in 40 minutes if somebody is willing and ready. So I think I use my command there a lot, and the strategy, if I'm listening to someone, and I'm fully present, I'm always there with all my body, mind, and spirit, and they feel it. And if I'm listening to them for a few minutes with everything I have, with all my strengths, and if I see a solution, I'll stop them and ask, do you want to stop here and discuss? Because I think we have a solution. And if they say yes, that's why I call myself not just a pure coach, I'm a coach, mentor, and a consultant. And probably it's because of my prior experience with sales, with huge teams, with executives, with directors. I really see what's the problem, and very often it's just straight there. So I just tell them, look, I don't want to spend with you 3 months or 3 years. I prefer to spend with you 1 hour, and you pay me for 3 months, but the result is there. But look, you still have your time. You have more time to achieve. Yes, I don't know. I hope that I answered the question.
I think you did. Are there any other tools or resources that you love, or blogs you follow, or any other things that you would suggest to new coaches that are starting out there that you found very helpful and useful?
First of all, follow everything what Gallup has, which I already mentioned, because there is a lot, really. And if after that you still need something, then, this is a tricky question, because to answer this question, I see this picture from Alice in Wonderland, where she comes to this crossroad and she asks the cat, "Cat, where should I go?" And cat says, "It depends where you want to come." And she says, "I don't care." And then he answers, "Then it doesn't matter where you go." So again, to answer your question, what tools? It depends what you want to achieve. Do you want to be a faith-based strengths coach? Then read Larry Beth Jones, all her books. She's my favorite. She's amazing. If you want to be family-based strengths coach, then dive into this. Listen to all TED Talks about families in correlation with talents and strengths. And if you want to be a corporate environment strengths coach, then go Gallup, because there is a lot. Yes, Gallup. And I don't I use Dale Carnegie tools a lot, his books and his advices. Stephen Covey, Brian Tracy. It depends again. Corporates, do you work with sales or do you work with leaders? What do you want to achieve? So first, really understand who are you and where do you bring the greatest change to what kind of people. And then focus yourself on finding the resource. And I'm not able to give you all the resources now, but if somebody wants, they can write to me. Once they choose their field of expertise, please write to me and I'll give you, believe me, at least 50 positions or something where to go and what to read and what to watch and whom to talk.
Mm. What is your website? What's the way to, or do we get in touch with you through LinkedIn, or what's the best way to reach you?
Okay, so yeah, you can find me on the LinkedIn, Taisja Laudy. You can find me, there is a website which is www.taisjalaudy.com, or the Genialny, which is genius in Polish. Now it's just in Polish, but it's nice, you can have a look. It will be in English very soon, it's coming, it will be there. So in a few weeks there will be an English website as well. And I'm planning to put a lot of resources there because it helps other people, so I'll be sharing. And on my Facebook I share a lot of resources, always.
Okay, very good. Is there anything that you think is really important to get out there that I haven't touched on? Anything in particular you want to make sure we cover and address today?
We did well. I think it was very good, but just to, if I would summarize it, I would say, let's remember, all of us, that what we do, yes, we work. I say that we improve organizations, but by strengthening lives. So just let's remember that every person we meet is this unique individual. And we as strengths coaches all over the globe, no matter who are you, where are you from, listening this now, you have this treasure, you have this ability to put that person into Ferrari and on their motorway and send them to their destination. And just do that, and then you'll achieve anything you want for your life. And this is what I wish to everyone who is willing to do this work, which I'm doing. Join me and join Gallup in 1 billion goal.
Very good. Jim, are there any questions from the chat room or anything that you wanted to ask Tace?
Tace, very well said. Let me just say that, and I love your recommendation of Gallup.com because we do put, this is a resource a lot of our coaches miss. They spend time on the Gallup Strengths Center and they focus on strengths, and yet we are continuing to publish great data. That's the number one question I get all the time is, how do I get some great research data? And I just say Gallup.com. We put most of our research out there, and yeah, it takes a little bit of digging. Some of our coaches like to be told the percentages, and it's like, well, sometimes you need to dig a little bit in and get that done. So thank you for saying Gallup.com. That's probably one of the most underutilized resources. When you took the leap and you started your own business, this is a big hurdle for a lot of our coaches in thinking about this. If you were to give some advice of one or two things you think you learned through that process of that could maybe help someone else in getting started, what would you tell them if they were going to take this leap?
Yes, thank you for the question. Okay, first of all, I think to survive, starting your business and taking it to something great, and I won't say anything new, find your why. Really? Find your mission statement. Why are you doing this? This is where I started. My business started from me understanding who I am. Really, I knew that I'm female. I knew that I have kids and a husband. But who am I really under all of this? And why am I here? Because once you find your why, and once you know your strengths, and once you use them on a day-to-day basis, when you use your strengths, it's like putting yourself on drugs. Because your brain produces endorphins every time you use them. But there is a rule in helping somebody to activate their strengths. It's even bigger. So if you are doing this and you know your why, I'm pretty sure you will be successful. But there is another rule which I a little bit touch base on today. Find others and partner with them. because I was doing this by myself for first 2 years or something like that. It was great, but it was a little bit boring. And my strengths were not that developed. I had my top 5 really happy, and I was using them. But what I noticed, once I partnered with somebody, I took their hand, my other 5 or 10 strengths activated. And this is amazing because you become more strong, more powerful. So first, find your why. Second, play to your strengths most of the time. And third, find your strengths partnerships. Find people who share your mission and your vision and want to join you. And then see you in Omaha in July or whatever. See you up there.
That'll be great. Are you coming to Omaha in July?
Yes, this is my plan.
Oh, good.
Of course.
Good. It is going to be a gigantic party. I cannot wait. I've heard from more people who are saying, hey, we have to meet when we get there. It's going to be, I'm going to get 300 of my closest friends together, hopefully more than that, and we'll look forward to meeting you there as well. One last question for me. When you look to the future, what are you hoping for that you haven't achieved yet? What are you grasping for that you see out there that you really want to get?
Me or
Yeah.
us as a company?
No, you for sure. I'm looking for a personal. What is that? If you know your why, and if strengths is how, right? We say that a lot. It doesn't say what you do, but how you do it. How you combine those to what's still out there that you haven't achieved or you haven't gotten to yet.
Okay, there is a lot. I'm just starting. So one thing, I'm writing a book, and I have already 3 or 4 in my mind. They're actually here on the wall, their names, and I have chapters and everything prepared, and the publishers as well. So I hope there will be very soon first book out there on the law of creation or genius formula, believe to create, which is my rule in life. So these books, then making e-courses for everyone. Really, I want to help this 1 billion goal as much as I can. So to help people not just to go to trainings or to coaching sessions, but to be able to buy something online and be inspired and understand how it works and use it on a day-to-day basis. This is another thing which is yes, and creating a lot of communities like Genius Club, Genius Society, where I see people who went through Genius Formula all over the world, from all over the world, and they are really this unique individuals who are together. And another thing which is in my mind, I want to give people the Genius at Work Award. These are those individuals who combine their strengths, values, and dreams strategies together. So they are really geniuses at work. And I have this first person, which will be nominated hopefully this month. Let me keep this as a surprise, but it's somebody incredible. So I'll take an interview of that individual, and then there will be an award, and probably I'll put it out there for everyone to see. And then we'll choose those kind of people everywhere we find them, or we can see that they are following the rules. They will be on the list. They will be in society.
Well, that's great. I think we should have, just as a rule, we should have more awards that people just give. Like you could, Don Clifton just believed you couldn't over-recognize someone, and so good for you to think about these awards of that you just give to people. I mean, it would be awesome every year if I had an award I could give to somebody, biggest partnership or whatever. We ought to think, as a strengths community, we ought to think about that more of how can we recognize each other in this community and what we're doing. And so I really, as you talk about those things, I appreciate that the award that you're going to put out. We can never do that enough. So thanks for doing that. And I'll throw it back to you as we wrap it.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, thanks for being with us, Taisja. I do appreciate it, and I know that I think of the list of people that I've seen come through the doors for this, the Sydney doors for the certification. I think that you were probably one of the ones who was most excited about it, and there was a part of me that feared, oh, I sure hope it lives up to her expectations, because you had wanted to do it for so many years, right? And yes. there hadn't been an option to come and have it done and do the course internationally, and there's no question that you were absolutely floored and got so much from it, and it was brilliant to be part of that experience with you and see how thrilled you were with the course itself. So that was fantastic.
Thank
Tace,
you.
thanks for coming out. Well, I'll hold you to Omaha here in July. And for those that haven't heard, July 18th, 19th, and 20th, we don't have any more information than that. And I know a lot of people have asked me, more information, Jim, and it's coming. But you should block those dates out and think about coming to Omaha. And I'll hold you, Tace, I'll hold you to that. I want to see you in Omaha when you get here. And for anyone coming to Omaha, make sure you book some time. We're going to have lots of training courses that will be available around it as well. And again, when we have that more information out about the week or the couple days of our summit, and maybe you'd want to take some of the training that's available. And so we'll have that to you as well. More information as it comes. Hopefully by the time this airs, as far as on our blog post, I'll have some information for you. Remind everyone to take full advantage of all the resources we have available at the Gallup Strengths Center, just gallupstrengthscenter.com. Send us your questions or comments, or if you'd like to be a guest blogger, Tace, you could write a blog for us if that would be a good thing for you to do. Send us an email with some of those ideas and send that to coaching@gallup.com and put guest blogger. We'll filter those through. We're not able to take them all because we get tons of them, but we will work with some of you who have some great ideas around blogs. And so if you're thinking about doing that, go ahead and get that again. Send that to us, coaching@gallup.com, and put guest blogger in the subject line. You can also catch the recorded of audio, and both audio and video of this show, plus all the past ones. We've got tons of them, 140 some. And actually, we have a very special project where we're going through the Theme Thursday shorts. I'll have to share that with you as we get closer to the summer. We got some dynamite stuff coming for you, especially for our international friends. So I'll just tease that out there as we get closer to the summit. Hopefully we'll have a special project for you that we'll release as we get to the summit. Just a reminder, we have Facebook groups, YouTube page, iTunes and RSS feeds, iPhone and Android apps are available for you. Don't forget to follow us along on the Facebook group with the weekly Strengths Wisdom, where we're going through one theme at a time. Theme Thursday has broken out into weekly, and we are in a Ranger week, which my number ones. This is my week. Love it. And we'll probably get to your number one at some point as well. Join us over at the Coach's blog, coaching.gallup.com. You don't need to be a coach to be over there. We would love to have you part of those resources. If you found this helpful, please share it. We want to thank everyone for being with us today. And with that, we'll say goodbye, everybody.